Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm really excited to be talking to you guys about what it's like being in grad school versus undergraduate school. So as most of you may know, if you follow me on my Instagram, or actually I think I talked about it on my YouTube channel too. By the way, follow me on Instagram, Shaylin Denise with 2 E's. But I announced that I would be going to grad school for engineering and management. So I'm getting my master's in engineering and management. So that's also why I have a few apartment tours and apartment hauls talking about me moving to Cleveland. So this is my second time, I think, moving to like a bigger city, so make sure that you check those videos out. But today I'm going to be talking to you all about what it's like there actually are quite a few differences going from like being an undergrad student to a graduate student, and let's just kind of dive on into this. But make sure that you're subscribed to my channel let's just get on with the goodness. Okay, so if you guys see me looking down, it's because I took a few notes on my phone. I want to make sure that I'm getting, you know, all the good points out for you guys, keeping it real and all of that stuff. So the first major point that I want to point out as far as the difference between grad school and undergrad is your schedule. Traditionally in college, you have Monday through Friday where you have classes each day. Now, what was awesome about undergrad is you may have like one class one day or like 2 or 3, but usually you're not having like, you know, a ton of classes every day of the week. So when you're in grad school, however, you usually have probably 1 class per week, but it's like 3 hours long. So in undergrad, I feel like when you have like a 50-minute class or an hour-long class 3 times a week, you're still in the classroom for about the same amount of time, but you know, it's like broken out. So that's one thing that's like a huge difference, and that was something I really had to get used to. Was I remember my first day of classes, it was on a Monday, you know how Mondays are, and we had 3 3-hour-long classes. 3 3-hour-long classes. So I remember being like, there's no way, because I especially at that point was like, I had come off of a like 3-week break where I was like sleeping in till like noon, going to bed at like 3 a.m. So my sleeping schedule was crazy, and you know, waking up at 7 or 8 a.m. and being in class until 9 p.m. was like, you know, it was a lot to handle at first, but of course you get used to it. Our bodies adapt to just about everything, honestly. So a lot of the times the schedule is constructed that way. Also because when you're going to grad school, most students have graduated and have probably worked before. The particular degree that I'm getting, or the master's that I'm getting, most of us are coming straight out of our undergrad, but usually there are students who have worked or are currently working, so they try to accompany that schedule. You might find that especially if you're getting an MBA, a Master's of Business Administration, your classes will be in the evening, and you might have a class from like 6 to 10, or, well, that's kind of late. Actually, I think so, like probably 6 to 9. So that's one of the major differences between undergrad and graduate school. So the next thing would be the content. So in your undergrad, for me at least, I went for mechanical engineering. So we kind of had a wide breadth of what engineering was. But when you go to grad school, usually you're going to be focusing on a very specific topic. So if you're going to school or grad school for like mechanical engineering, you would probably focus on something like robotics or cars. What's the word for that, G? Automotives. Automotive. Okay, so for me, I did my undergrad, like I said, in mechanical engineering, but I'm doing my master's in engineering management, and we focus mainly on like business concepts and then how to actually relate those topics back to engineering. So for instance, one of the classes we take is called Technology Marketing Strategy. So we're talking a lot about marketing, we're talking a lot about how you market a product, but we also make sure to focus a lot on specifically with technology, what aspects need to be addressed when you're trying to market a product, what are people looking for, things like that. So the overall takeaway is when you're in grad school, it's usually a very specific topic that you're studying, and a lot of people do research. Some people do work within the field while they're doing grad school, but that's another major difference, is undergrad is a lot more broad in my opinion. So the next major difference would be the students. So like I said before, in undergrad, I feel like students usually go to school partially because they know what they want to do in their life, and partially because maybe their parents like force them to go, or they feel like they have an obligation to be in college if they want a decent job. Whereas in grad school, usually no one's really forcing you to go. It's a decision that a lot of students make for themselves. So after you've gotten your undergrad degree, you do have the decision of, do you want to further become somewhat of a subject matter expert, or to learn more about the topic, and that's the topic that you've really chosen that you probably want to go into your career with. So students are usually a little bit more focused. No shade, no tea, no shade, no tea. In undergrad, it seems like there's a lot more students who are unfocused and just kind of there going through the motions. But in grad school, people are definitely, you know, they might be paying out of their pocket, or their actual job where they work at may be paying for them to go back to school and get their master's. So they're really focused on what they went there for, and usually they have an end goal of what they want to use their master's for. The next thing is the school or the professor. So most colleges, if not all of them, well, not community colleges, but most colleges have a graduate program. However, there is a strategy that I find that a lot of students tend to take, which is you get your undergrad degree at a affordable but decent school. So I went to the University of Akron, and I actually think that we had an amazing engineering program, definitely underrated, but maybe not even underrated, because actually a lot of people did respect our engineering program. Hair flip or whatever. And people do go to University of Akron to get their master's, but a lot of times I notice that people go to a school that's pretty decent and pretty affordable for their undergrad degree, and when they go to their master's, they kind of want something maybe where you're getting a little bit how do you say, I don't know, maybe you're paying a little bit more for the name of the school, like it's known for being more prestigious. So the reason for this is most people get their bachelor's of science degree, and so as long as you're really learning the basics and you're learning how to be an engineer, you're learning how to be a nurse, I mean, it's pretty even across the fields no matter what school you go to, unless you go to some actually like really crappy school. But when you're going to grad school, it is impressive that you're already getting your master's, but a lot of times people do choose schools that have a more prestigious reputation, just to give them a little bit more of credibility for the research, or I guess really investing in their future, kind of with the name as well as with the education. So as far as the professors, I would say that they're pretty much the same. I mean, it really depends on what school you go to, obviously. You know, like the more prestigious schools, I guess, would, at least on paper, have better professors, but I don't really see much of a difference personally. Each professor is different, but I do know that at the school that I go to now, I really enjoy the professors because I feel like they have a lot of experience, they have industry experience, they have so many connections with like really established companies, which, you know, that's not everything, but it's really nice having teachers that can kind of mentor you, that can lead you in the right direction, and can even give you some contacts and connect you with people who could help to catapult your career. So the next thing that really differentiates undergrad and graduate school, I think, would be time management, which kind of goes back to schedules. So me personally, I am working part-time at a company and going to school full-time. And I did not do that in undergraduate school. I don't know why I thought that like doing it in undergrad was crazy, but working in master's would be like, you know, a logical decision. But actually it has taught me a lot about time management. So there are so many times during the week, like obviously with school, geez, where do I even start? So we do spend, well, we actually, in grad school, we have school classes all day Monday. We have like one class Tuesday and one class Wednesday, but they are for 3 hours each. So we're spending about 12 hours each week in class. But you're also doing group work outside of class. So you know, juggling that and then also working 20 hours a week, there are weeks when I literally feel like there's actually literally not enough hours in the week to get done what I want to do. Because like, if you think about it, you have to do like homework, and then you have to do school, and then you're actually commuting between both of those places, and you have to remember to eat, and you have to remember to like stay sane, and you have to remember to sleep. It's like it's hard to juggle everything, especially if on top of that you're trying to like cook dinner or be healthy or work out or anything. So at first it feels like maybe you could possibly be going crazy a little bit, but then I think, like I said earlier, our bodies and our minds adjust to just about anything that is thrown at us. So you get used to working at a higher productivity level, I guess. You know that the time that is actually spent for studying, you should actually get as much studying done as you can. You can't really just like, you know, not be productive because you don't have time later to do it, literally. So that's something that I definitely learned while being in grad school, is time management is everything. And I feel like everyone says that, but it's not until you actually like don't have the time to do these things that you learn how to be productive. So while we're on the topic of grad schools, I will tell you guys how I actually chose my school and what I wanted to do. So I knew that I always wanted to get an MBA. I knew that before I even got into college. So I was always contemplating between doing engineering and doing a business major. And I guess I decided somewhere along the way that I would just do engineering, and at some point I would get a degree in business as well, probably through a master's degree. After I graduated from school, I wasn't quite ready to get into the workforce. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I decided that since I was in a financial position to where I didn't need to work soon, and if I could get scholarships, I would just go to school full time and kind of figure out what I wanted to do along with getting my master's. But it just so happened the exact year that I was graduating and wanted to apply for an assistantship, pretty much every school in Ohio had gotten rid of the scholarships that help you to pay in exchange for you actually going to school. So there are a few ways you can pay for college, or specifically a master's. Your company, you could work for a company that's going to pay for it, at least a portion of it. You could pay for it out of pocket, or you could get scholarships. Finding out that there were no more assistantships, I was kind of in a bind, like, oh, I mean, you know, it's senior year and everybody's like, what are you going to do next? And I had always just said, like, I'm going to get my MBA. And then at this point, it's like, well, maybe I'm not. And then one of my friends actually...
You on the road too.
So one of my friends actually had just, she was in the program that I'm in now. It's actually a 3-semester program, so it's literally a year, and you're getting a lot of the business concepts along with engineering, like I said earlier. So she came and she spoke about her experience in the program, and I had never even been in, like, I didn't even know engineering management existed, and pretty much I guess it just kind of fell into my lap because it was just at the moment that I was like, what am I going to do? And that's how I decided to actually go into that program at the school that I'm at now. I'm really happy that I learned about it. It's kind of interesting because it feels like everything does happen for a reason. So that's how I decided what school and what program I was going to get into. I would suggest I would suggest a few things. If you are financially able, like if you can get scholarships and you don't have loans that you immediately have to pay for, and you don't really have a lot of bills coming at you right now, I would suggest personally going to school and getting it out of the way before you start working and before you start a family. Yeah, you don't have a lot of time that you're going to be spending physically doing homework, but you are going to be meeting outside of classes with multiple groups. So it's not even just one group that you can, like, you know, meet with at, you know, you all have similar schedules or you all do similar things. It's actually kind of hard. You know, everybody's doing their own thing. People work at different places, people live in different places. So along with time management, it's you know, figuring out your schedules and then making sure that while you're at the meetings, you're actually productive. So those are the main differences that I've noticed in going to grad school versus undergraduate school. I hope that this was informative for you guys and that you learned something. If you have any questions, please post them down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.